Hey guys, Twelve58 here. I'm about to get into a frequently asked questions video, meaning I'm going to grab 3 comments from 3 recent videos. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I want to see what you guys are interested in. And I do this regularly, so drop comments in every video, including this one, and I might just respond to your question, comment, criticism, critique, whatever that might be, whatever C word that might be. Okay, so my name is Dwayne Cunningham. And I cover Splinterlands all day, every day, because this thing has changed my life, and I actually think it might change yours. And so if that sounds interesting, and if you're new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing. At least check out the video and see whether you like the content. Let's go into the comment section right away. It's gonna be, I'm going to try and make it 15 minutes short video because I have a pool party to go celebrate at and be with. So recently we had this video on fixing soulbound reward cards, which was an idea that came out of a conversation from the People's Guild. Check out their channel, and Aftersound, check out his channel. And I guess VetV was talking with Jangles about a proposal, and I love the idea. And so let's see what you guys say about that. That'll be one of the talking points we touch on here. But actually, as I come to think of it, I could throw some honor over to VetV too, because VetV, oh man, what? Oh, I'm not going to remember it right now, pal. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I don't remember the content that you and you do too. Okay, I want to, if it pops into my mind, I'm going to point toward your channel as well, but definitely People's Guild and Aftersound. Thanks for the conversation. You guys started this conversation, and I love it. So we talked about the idea of what if immediately upon issuance of soulbound reward cards, they could be bought to be made marketable, made transferable. If you could pay some astronomical fee, whether it was $5 for a legendary, $10 for a legendary, $20 for a legendary, whatever that number was set at, you know, I think you would have a certain number of people who would make it, who would do it, because they would want that liquidity. They would want to sell into the limited buying pressure, or sorry, the limited supply. If you're one of one on a card, you have to imagine the price is going to be higher than if there's millions and millions of copies. So if you're the first one to get a really great card, bring it to market early would be nice. And if you could do so immediately, that might be a financial opportunity. And so I think it would be a worthwhile consideration. What did you guys think? My channel, not yours, says, I say unlock them all. Soulbound should become time release reward cards, 100%. It might sound crazy, but people would lose their minds overnight to have new assets to sell and trade. Unlocking them all would give everyone really good prices too, so everyone wins. That's an interesting way to look at it. I want to come back to this concept of everyone wins. We all can finally max our soulbound decks easily while adding new profits back into the ecosystem. Then everyone would go ape with speculation over the next soulbound release, because they know there'd be profits in the future. I like that you got 2 thumbs up on that. First of all, positive comment, love it. Thank you. My channel, not yours. Positivity. You've got a good idea. You've got, you know, you're excited about it. You're not, you know, sometimes we get into a place of like, it's more animosity than our own excitement, and man, that's not the place. But here you got it right. You're just like, you've got an idea, you love it, and you're for it. And there's I even love how you frame it this way: everyone wins. I don't know if I agree, but I love that sort of positive spin on it. Like you're saying, and I do understand what you're saying. You're saying if they were made liquid for free and I could just sell them, even if that was a low price, that would be a certain amount of value in my pocket. If I wanted to sell them, and maybe I don't even want to sell them, but that flexibility would be a nice gift to all the players. That's how you're looking at it. And then you're saying I could max out my set, and that would be desirable from my perspective as a player, but maybe your perspective as a seller, not you, but like another person who has the cards and doesn't want the cards, or has the cards and has many copies of it. And so everyone wins in your mind. I love that positivity. And I would agree in some sense to what you're saying, but I just think when you talk about everyone wins, you have to recognize that if there is this easy sellability of a card, it's easy to go to market because there's no cost to bring it to market. That's not necessarily the end of the world, but it has the unintended consequence of making the asset far more accessible. No, okay, so let me say it this way. That's a double-edged sword. If you make the card far more accessible, everybody who wants it can buy it. But if you make it far more accessible, the people who want to hold it and have it currently have a disadvantage now that you can get it for cheap. I've had it for all this time. I fought and earned for it. I bought extra energy. I played the game, and now you're just getting it for free or for cheap. And So, and I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm just saying there's that other side of the coin where some community members will feel I have it and I actually don't want everyone to have it. But then simultaneously, it's not just about my opponent having a card I don't have, or me not wanting my opponent to get the card I already have. It can also be about I want my card to be scarce. And if it goes to market through burning assets, it will be scarce. But if it goes to market by just being made available, tradable, transferable for free, all of them are simultaneously transferable. That's a totally different supply and demand dynamic that will result in a far lower price. Now, you see that as a good thing, but the person who has a lot of these cards already feels that is a bad thing. And so there's always two sides to every coin. Nevertheless, I like the idea, and I might even be okay with that, but I think the better approach is something like what was alluded to in the video quoted. I don't really want to get all 3 comments from that one video, but if I see another one with a lot of thumbs up or something, I'll read it. You know what? Let's grab this one. This was a Silver League video I did recently. I hammered about 5 or 6 or maybe 10 battles in Silver League in the Modern, and I was having fun. I thought I'm just going to fight my battles anyway, so let's throw on the camera and see what happens. I'm glad you appreciated Crypto Beaver. Crypto Beaver 5949 says, great video, Dwayne. Love it when you cover the game strategies and showing your actual gameplay. This is what the game is all about, and this is what has attracted me to Splinterlands 3 years ago, and the reason I'm still enjoying it today. I love that. Thank you, man. I hope we can all focus more on enjoying the game and less on the economics, as Matt and the team are working in the background fixing mistakes from the past, which we can all agree will take some time. Yes, 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 yes. I love everything about that. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the encouragement. The Silver League, or rather even the grind videos that I call them, where I'm fighting in my rank grind, they don't do as well from a viewership standpoint. But as I've said so many times with this channel, and I will continue to point to, I don't do these things exclusively because I expect some sort of financial results from this channel, or some sort of spike in viewership, spike in subscriptions. I am just simply journaling and tracking my enjoyment of this space. And so I'm so glad that you enjoy that. Thank you. And I am so glad that you enjoy the battle video. I am definitely going to do more of them. And I am going to keep playing in the background. Sometimes I'm not going to do them necessarily every week. But it's absolutely a part of what I want to cover, and I just enjoy covering it. And so I'm glad you share that sort of enjoyment as well. And but yeah, it definitely isn't. It's not the sort of content that just hits a home run. From a viewership standpoint, it's like probably half or a third of the viewership of some of the other stuff where we talk about tokenomics or we do these frequently asked question videos. Again, I will not let sort of viewership or likes or comments or whatever drive where I'm going. But at the same time, I don't want to give too much of stuff that people don't want to. I'm going to play in the background, but will I always record it? The answer is no. But thank you so much, dude. I take that as an encouragement. I appreciate you. Let's keep going. Let's see. Look for some thumbs up on a different video here. Oh, there's a bigger comment. I'm tempted to read that one with no thumbs up. Oh, we got 2 over here. Horus. Oh, okay. I want to read Horus's because he's a spicy one, so we might have some fun with that comment. It looks like he's mostly encouraging here, which is great. I'm going to read his comment, but I'm going to focus on Why Not over here, who has 4 thumbs up. So Horus says, I literally only need, and this was with respect to a video where I was talking about card prices going down dramatically over the last couple months and why I'm not concerned. And so Horus says, I literally only need 2 cards to own 99% of all cards. Is that right? I need a level 3 Mantaroth Elemental and an Elemental Phoenix. That's a great card, the Elemental Phoenix. I just keep buying. Now 2 guards from my goal. That took almost 3 years. Have almost 100k SPS, 4 land plots, 24 wagons, GLS, 80 soul keep packs, 45 moon card packs. I'm ready to go. Let's go Bitcoin. I love that, dude. I love that. Let's go Bitcoin. Guys, this could get crazy. If Bitcoin actually just goes and has some fun, still like one more leg up, this could get crazy. And whether you look at the halving cycle, or whether you look at historic booms and busts, whether you look at, Bitcoin has gone from 18 to 75, and altcoins haven't necessarily followed. Whether you look at the presidential cycle, and right now there's good reason to believe that the U.S. presidential cycle, there's an election next November, and whether or not they would look at spending money into the economy to pump up services to buy your votes, all of that might mean financial boom season. Like, it just feels like it's pointing to it. Gold and silver have been striving into really cool places. If he's right, man, like if this sentiment is onto something, this could be such a crazy season. And I don't know if it's going to be, but like I said in that video, I'm happy to just hold and see and buy as I can. And there are cards I want to. He talks about the Elemental Phoenix. I have one of those. Mantaroth I don't have, and I would love to have. And there's some other cards I really am focused on getting. Kitty, one of which is featured on the thumbnail there. Okay, one more quick video or comment. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. He got 3 thumbs on this one. Let's see what he says. This is the time when money is made. For me, it's like when Bitcoin hit bottom 18 months ago, and we're about to hit bottom. And we are about to hit bottom. I see what he's saying. So he's like, I remember when Bitcoin hit bottom, and I knew then it was the time to buy. And he's saying in this moment, he feels like we, Splinterlands, are about to hit the bottom. He says, it might take a year to get where we want this bull run, but I'm not here for money. It's a game, and I feel like it's a game I like, and I feel people have forgotten that. Yes, you're right. If you don't have that, you're just an investor or a speculator or both. And if you're that, fine, you might benefit, you might gain, you might really do well. But if you're a gamer also, you can ride waves of uncertainty that will shake certain hands, where you're finding a peace and a joy in the process. They might be frustrated or annoyed by the timelines, and then people leave early and sometimes miss green candles. And so I agree with you. And he goes on to say, I'd like a 25 game limit where rewards are given out at staked SPS only and not ranked spot, and then all games after that go towards leaderboards, but with being able to play as much as you like. So a lot more free play, really. And I think that makes a lot of sense. From my knowledge about how that works, they have to essentially have server space. They run servers. Those servers are within Amazon. They're, on the cloud, and that the game is operating on the cloud through Amazon servers, to my knowledge. And that happens, that means there's a certain amount of bandwidth, that I think that's the right terminology, that's going through those servers. And every game is another submission. That's megabytes or gigabytes. I guess it would be megabytes of sort of activity being transferred through that server. And that costs money. And so if we just started saying you could have free games after 25, I think that's a part of the consideration. I think that's a part of the concern as to why we can't necessarily do that. Having said that, maybe there's a cost associated with allowing that to happen, and maybe that cost is worth paying. That's a conversation I can't really understand, because I don't really understand the costs associated with it. But it's a topic that has been and maybe should continue to be brought to the team within the town halls, because why can't we have free games? I think a lot of people would like that. I think new players would want to try that. I think a lot of the times people get hooked on something because they got to play it first. And I don't necessarily agree with the idea that you got to spend money on a spell book, you got to spend money on cards, you got to spend money on SPS, all before you even really feel the fullness of what this is. So that's a bit of I think I'm with you. And I love this. I love the positive sentiments to these comments. Even Horace getting in on it. Guys, thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope you're having an amazing day. God bless.